So Nemesis is about to reopen at Alton Towers after being closed for the entirety of 2023. A well-earned sabbatical. The popular ride has undergone a complete retrack, minus the lift hill, along with various other upgrades to extend the life of the threatening monster that apparently invaded the park and warranted military control. Yeah, that makes sense. The fan favourite is confirmed to be opening on the 16th of March 2024, exactly 30 years after the debut of the original. That's pretty exciting. Now, to honour the rebirth of Nemesis, I'm going to look into the full history of the ride, beginning with the early concepts. But first, make sure to subscribe to ensure that this ride continues to operate for another 30 years. Yes, I have complete control over that. Now taking you back to the beginning of time, the 1980s. And before Nemesis, it was the corkscrew that really launched Alton Towers in the realm of thrill coasters. And the addition saw the park's attendance rates spike pretty impressively. And this classic aerodynamics double looper operated for a very impressive 28 years. Opening on the 4th of April 1980 and then finally closing on the 9th of November 2008 to make way for 13. Rest in peace, old boy. However, midway through its tenure, Alton Towers did open the Thunder Looper in 1990. This was a temporary addition due to planning restrictions, the neighbours being annoying as always. So this Schwarzkopf shuttle coaster needed a permanent replacement. And this is where the early concepts for Nemesis begun. Initially, Alton Towers and John Wardley approached Aerodynamics about their prototype pipeline coaster. No, not that one. This was codenamed Secret Weapon 1. And that's where it all started. Yes, kicking off the long line of secret weapons, this codename for the roller coaster came from the rumoured military theme that never came to fruition. Yeah, the design was canned due to the measly 300-metre track length. The layout was swiftly revised for Secret Weapon 2, and they were looking at Aerodynamics' new concept for a multi-inverting roller coaster, a very tubular looking design known as the pipeline coaster. But John Wardley rode the prototype coaster and thought it was slow and boring. So that was also canned, and that's where the Dark Knight came to save the day. Because B&M came into the equation, having designed a couple of inverts for Six Flags, including Batman the Ride. And then when the parks directors rode Batman, doesn't sound great. Anyway, they liked Batman and wanted an invert for Towers, and thus Nemesis was born. But local complaints meant that the park had to get pretty creative with the ride. Yep, the concept of a 100-foot Batman did not impress the neighbours.
You've been officially labelled a disturber of the peace.
So then, as we all know, Towers blew a massive hole in the ground to create a pit for the ride. They literally used TNT. That's mental. And then despite the structure for the coaster being 104 foot tall, it therefore barely could be seen above ground. It's safe to say that John Wardley designed an absolute creative masterpiece with this ride, with it reaching speeds of 50 miles per hour and charging through 4 inversions, the last of which was carefully placed at eye level, so visitors could see riders as they went straight through that loop. It was a corkscrew. But nonetheless, it was pretty clever if you ask me. And then obviously Nemesis was a hit. Not only was it a brilliant and intense roller coaster experience, but being in a pit, it was completely unique. A massive ride that could be hardly seen above ground. And then to further complement this literally groundbreaking roller coaster, because it blew a hole in the ground. Then to complement this roller coaster, the Forbidden Valley was born, a complete apocalyptic area surrounding Nemesis, with the additions of the Blade, Ripsaw and Air. Later Galactica. And for those of you that think the Galactica / Air does not really make sense in the area, well, it doesn't really anymore. But at the time of opening in 2002, as the world's first flying coaster, also by B&M, and it was placed to juxtapose the aggressive Nemesis as a graceful hero, which was actually the sponsor of the ride. And then the final major addition to the area, Nemesis Subterra, was opened to expand the Nemesis lore, adding a dark ride / drop tower experience, telling a further story of the ride. When you actually think about Nemesis, It's even more impressive how many roller coasters out there have this level of storytelling and lore behind it. I actually don't know. If you can think of any, genuinely, leave it in the comments below, because as far as I'm concerned, it's only Nemesis. So wrapping it up, and having operated for 28 years, from March 16th, 1994, all the way through to November 2022, the original Nemesis was closed for a complete retrack, with the park making this decision to not only extend the lifespan of this extremely popular roller coaster, but to enhance the overall experience, with the ride receiving new theming, possibly even more than we can already see, a new station and an awesome looking paint job on the track. And it opens this month. Thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Ciao, legends. That was good, wasn't it? Please, sir, can we have some more? You don't have to call me sir. But here's your link. Click it. Sir Pun a lot would sound cool though.